Good evening. It's Tuesday night again, and here we are back with another fun-filled episode of the Power Hour. I'm Steve, along with the urban sensation and NWA superstar, C-Red. We have Rachel, who is a licensed and certified Chicago knockout, and they're getting their season back up and running on August 19th at the Homewood Auditorium. Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
Hey, Rachel.
Hello, EJ.
And Rion Skills will hopefully, if he wakes up from whatever nap he's on, maybe we'll join. And there he is. It's as if the wind carried him.
Knew.
He knew. He
knew.
So Rion is now checking in, and this, of course, is the real deal Rion Skills. Hello, Rion. How are you? He's connecting to audio, and there he's got the first picture of the night, that epic Chicago logo of the EJ Swanson era. Hello, Rion.
What's
up? Rion, always understated as normal. And our special guest tonight is yet another product of the Wrestle League Dojo, the one, the only EJ Swanson. Hello, EJ. How are you?
Thanks for having me on the show. I've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time.
You know, it's kind of fate that opportunity would happen this week, having you on this Tuesday before the weekend's activities, because you got some activities happening this Sunday in Richmond Park, in which it's two champions versus two legitimate superstars, as you and Damian Gray take on Kid Lat and our partner here, C-Red. So it's fortuitous that you are our guest this week, because I imagine you and Red will have much to discuss. Not exactly sure.
Can't wait.
I think it's going to be a fairly interesting match. So before we get into Swanson Gray versus Lat Red 1, and there's the flyer right there. You've got your league champion and Damian Gray. You've got your junior heavyweight champion by suspicious means, EJ Swanson. And it's going to be amazing. Red and Lat, what a team that this a match.
Get it correct, Steve. The number one contender.
Oh,
get it right. If you're, since you're putting all my monikers out there, get it right. The number one contender for the league title. Get it right.
Number one. I'm sorry, NWA superstar and number one contender for the league title. C-Red, the man wears titles like hats. EJ, you're not our first participant to come from Wrestle League, and we are all in unanimous agreement that every time we have somebody from Wrestle League on this show, it is really good. We've had the Bros, we've had Kid Lat, we've had and there's a great picture. I love that picture of you guys taken backstage at Rocket Pro Wrestling, Muggsy and Quinn, and you guys are all fantastic people. And I've asked this question to others, and I'm going to ask it to you. What makes Wrestle League so special?
We're just honestly built different. I believe at this past show that we did in Homewood, I believe, talked to Ewok for a bit. Us compared to everyone else, Wrestle League students were just built differently, and
I have to agree, because I have seen the workouts that Shogun makes you guys do.
He put me in the hospital for a week and a half, my first day in wrestling, with
really?
that workout. And then I'm on the phone. I was on the phone with him because I had to learn how to walk all over again. I was in the hospital for a week and a half. Like all of my leg muscles turned into mush. And he was like, yeah, my bad. So
I can totally hear Shogun saying that too.
I really do love Shogun. I believe after that, the world, because that was back in like 2020 when I first started getting my feet wet training for wrestling. After the world like semi opened back up, then I had restarted to train in January of 2021.
Now, you mentioned Shogun, and it's great. I mean, obviously, he's a great trainer, and you respect him. So I've been wanting to ask you this question for a minute. If he's your guy, your trainer, your vet, he's the guy you go to for advice, and he's the guy that kind of led you down the road to get you where you are right now. Why did you turn on him? Why did you turn on that man? That was an uncomfortable episode of wrestling. That was my first night doing commentary, and I'm like, "Oh, EJ, I know this guy. This kid's good. He's Shogun's student." And then all of a sudden, Paragon got in your kid.
Yes, as someone who was in the audience watching it happen as well, that was mind-boggling.
I mean, I haven't seen a turn that shocking since Saturday, but we'll talk about Saturday's turn a little later on when we put Red on fire for what he did to Marche Rocket at Crash Tested Wrestling. But that's a horse of another color. We'll get to Red's ARC shenanigans a little bit later on. Wrestle League had a spot this past Saturday at Rabid Brewing in Homewood for the Festival of the Goat Queen event. Now, I have heard that now social media has been blazing a buzz, all the Homewood pages. People are talking about what a crazy, amazing time the Festival of the Goat Queen was. How did it feel being a wrestler in an environment like that? Because that's not your usual fare, as it were.
Great question. No, it's not really my usual cup of tea, but one thing about me, I love challenges. I love challenges. I love conflicts. I love to face anything with an open mind. That's just how I am. I will honestly say after the show, a couple fans came up, to me and a couple of the wrestlers, they expressed how much they were thoroughly entertained throughout the show. Usually as an amateur wrestler, now pro wrestler, pro wrestling doesn't always get the respect in the quote unquote real world. So the fact that I had this one guy, I cannot remember his name, but he came up to me, he was like, when we first seen that we was gonna have a wrestling show, it was kind of like, whatever. But after the show, everybody was thoroughly entertained, making noise. And I think I would say for the boys in the back, we all definitely enjoyed ourselves in entertaining everyone this past Saturday.
I didn't get a chance to go to this show, but I've seen a lot of great photographs from it. When you're working outside in an environment like this, in a, it looked to me like a pagan Renaissance fair kind of vibe. Certainly not your typical situation. Even, I've worked plenty of outdoor shows before, but as I was driving home after the Crash Tested show, I had hurt my leg and I was in a lot of pain and I was tired. So I drove by to see what was going on. And there were, at 10 o'clock at night, that place was still packed. I mean, is this something you'd want to do again?
To be honest, my answer would be yes, only because this isn't my first time performing outside. I believe my first time was at a promotion, I believe, called APW in Wisconsin. I think that was in like May or June of 2021. Ever since then, I've worked other outside shows at different promotions. The only thing that I dislike about it is you get really itchy wrestling outside, especially if you hit the grass. So one recommendation I will have for all of the boys is definitely get you some spray. Spray.
Somebody needs to get Tyler some sunblock for your next outdoor show.
Yeah, man.
That hurt me to look at.
He was just so calm with it.
Yeah. Let's get Rachel's perspective since she was also at we'll talk about the festival now. Rachel, obviously you were there with EJ. Tell us, how you what were some of your experiences, good or bad, at the Festival of the Goat Queen?
I was selling, so that was really what I was doing. And then I participated in the second Wrestle League show, which was I guess you could say I murdered 2 children. So
She poor kid Lat and
yeah.
Adonis. They got the wrath of the artist formerly known as Cactus Rack.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that.
Well, it's Homewood is talking about it. I can't wait. Hopefully next year it will be on a day where I can attend and I don't have to be doing other things.
Yeah, because you ain't got no job no more.
No, we'll talk about that later too. Yeah, it's laugh it up, Fuzzball. EJ, you had mentioned your amateur wrestling background, and I wanted to spend some time talking about that because I've had friends and family that have done that, and I've been to many a wrestling meet. I've watched Hardcore Craig's son excel through the ranks of amateur wrestling. Talk to us a little bit about your experiences.
So my experience, I would say the summer that I graduated from 8th grade, I started training at the Harvey Twisters. Started wrestling with them, so I get my feet wet a little bit before my freshman year, because usually freshmen, when it's the first time of doing any type of sport, especially amateur wrestling, they're always like thrown into the wolves, which I was eventually thrown in the wolves, but I'll get into that in a second. So freshman year, I wrestled at 145 pounds. I had my first match. I practiced. I'm sorry. Let me back up. I practiced for Rich East High School. And then eventually I transferred to Morgan Park High School my freshman year.
That's
From
where
there,
I went to high school. Shut the front door.
You went to Morgan Park?
I did. I graduated in a year I'm not going to bring up right now.
I was waiting. I'm like, is she gonna say it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. No, I went to MP High. I was a Mustang.
That's right, Mustangs. We do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wrestled for Morgan Park. Due to like the transcripts, like when you're transferring from schools between suburb schools to a CPS school and you're doing sports, it's a whole lot of stuff. So I was still able to practice with the team, but I wasn't able to wrestle matches until I would say January of 2017. Then I had my first few matches at regionals. I forgot what school it was. Unfortunately, I didn't place. It was a little bit of a tough pill to swallow for me. So I wanted to
Is that
originally
a little
wrestle.
EJ Swanson right there? Is that a young man?
Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot see the pictures.
Rion's got a picture of a young man wearing a Morgan Park wrestling shirt or sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Rion, and he had a picture of you in a green tight rolling somebody up on the mat just a second ago. So he is, Rion's done a deep dive this week.
Thank you, Rion.
Rion has taken you back. Look at that. Look at that handsome young high school student.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would say, what happened to you? Look at the innocence there, and look what we're dealing with now. I can't. Go ahead. Tell us we want to hear more about your time as an amateur wrestler. That's very impressive.
Thank you. Well, thank you. So I took a break between that summer freshman year to sophomore year. I wanted to focus on building more muscle because I was a little bit skinnier. I already had in my mind after I graduated high school that I was going to do pro wrestling. So that was always set in stone for once I graduated. I want to make that transition. Let me go back to sophomore year. Lifted a whole bunch of weights, started seeing progress in my body. I went from 145 to 175. Then between sophomore year, wrestled 175. And then I became captain of the wrestling team my junior and senior year. Junior year, I wrestled at 185 pounds. And then senior year, I jumped all the way from 185 to heavyweight. I was about 230 pounds.
There's a picture of you in the gym right there. Rion has got this shit on lock tonight. It's something of a mystique when someone goes from an amateur wrestler into the style of wrestling that you do now. I mean, you think about some of the performers, the Brock Lesnar's, the Kurt Angles, the Shelton Benjamins that made that transition from, amateur all-star, Olympic wrestler to, professional wrestling. Do you have a bigger appreciation for guys like that because you've been down that road?
Oh, absolutely. I had a conversation with Nick on a road trip at a show. Shane Foster, for those who don't know, my other trainer, Shogun, Chris Logan's brother. I had a conversation with him, about my amateur background. And we brought up, guys like Chad Gable, Kurt Angle, and Shelton Benjamin, because back in high school, we actually studied those specific wrestlers because they performed legit amateur wrestling moves in the square circle.
Absolutely, they did.
So with that, because not a lot of amateur wrestlers are really big fan of pro wrestlers, but a lot are. Sorry, I'm rambling on. I forgot where I was at.
That's okay. You've been hitting the head a lot, and Red's going to hit you in the head some more this Sunday. So take all your time you need.
What else can I?
When you graduated high school, was there any interest in continuing down the road? Did you ever think you might go, become an amateur wrestler and go to like the next level, collegiate or, higher even still?
Yeah. So, here's the part where I like to blur the lines between reality and pro wrestling. I've always been a fan of that.
Blurred lines? We don't know you have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to that.
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
So, I graduated in June of 2020. I got a wrestling offer from Lincoln College. Now, during the time, I was having a lot of personal family issues to where it was kind of influencing my decision to go to college. I talked with Chris. He was not happy with my decision at the end. But eventually, I decided, when the right time comes, I will conquer that, as far as college goes. Right now, my heart is pro wrestling. I've been wanting to do this since I was 4 years old. So in the end, after I graduated high school, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna put all of my eggs in this pro wrestling basket. I'm gonna give it my all. Every practice, every show, I give it 110%. So ultimately, I decided after high school, I was just going to work and do pro wrestling. Now, hopefully one day, my dream is to make it as far as I can. And real quick, I just want to say thank you to everybody, friends, family, you guys, Steve, Rachel, C-Red, Rion. I want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to showcase what I can do. I know I'm still new. I only have about 3 years of experience under my belt. But I am grateful for everything, every opportunity that has came my way. And I do want to thank everyone. I want to thank Frontline Pro Wrestling. I want to thank Wrestle League. I want to thank Rocket Pro Wrestling, APW. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank War Wrestling because 6 months into me training, I had my first match at War Wrestling in Lima, Ohio, against none other than the very own veteran Jack Vaughn.
Wow, that name has been coming up a lot this week. Jack Vaughn's everywhere right now.
Oh yeah.
it's interesting, and you know what, it's great that your humility, you know, in wrestling, personalities and egos tend to dominate many a conversation, but you know, to actually take time to thank everybody, to kind of reverse the roses on someone like C-Red every now and again is really cool to hear. It seems like you really have appreciated your opportunities, and you've earned them and deserved them. Frontline Pro Wrestling is a promotion that I am new to, but I am just dazzled by what goes on there. And I think people are going to be even more impressed when Crossfire finally comes out later in August. You and I were there for the inaugural episodes of Crossfire. Was that not some pretty awesome activity?
Oh man, that was awesome. I had a blast doing those episodes.
Yeah, you and I had a few words in one of those segments, which was it's always fun to be a part of it. Have you had a chance to see Crossfire?
At the moment, I haven't had the chance to see it because I've been so busy, you know, with just
No,
personal
hey, no
things.
worries. Nobody's had a chance to see it, but I hear fantastic things about it, and it will be on the Premier Streaming Network in just a few more weeks. It's going to be really cool. We've talked about Wrestle League, and obviously Wrestle League did big things this past weekend for the Goat Queen. But now we've got a couple of things coming up in the Wrestle League calendar. There's a show in Chicago, and then finally Wrestle League comes home to Homewood. Talk about the upcoming, because it's a busy month for Wrestle League.
Oh yeah, it's a real big month for us.
So we've got you know the big you know, Homewood, you know, they're trying to do some big things with the auditorium there, and you know, with what they've got cooking, you know, there are some pretty cool matches happening now. What is your impression of the Homewood Auditorium? I mean, you've rocked that house a couple of times. Obviously, that's where you betrayed your mentor, which is something that I think you're going to pay for more than you at least think right now. Talk about what you might be doing at League Under Siege on the 12th, because that looks like it's going to be a hot show.
Well, I can't say too much. All I can say is for the rest of 2023, definitely keep your eyes out for EJ Swanson. That goes for not only Wrestle League, but also Rocket Pro Wrestling.
I mean, you got a lot of people you'd like to face, I bet. I mean, how awesome would it to have a big one-on-one match versus Ewok?
You know what? Ewok was my very first match.
Oh, really? Okay, so I never saw that. I mean, well, I mean that was once upon a time. I mean, now with what you know now, I mean you're beating up Chris Logan, you know, even though his back is turned half the time. You know, how would it be now? Ewok is just getting better. You're just getting better. I bet that would be a very different match now.
I 100% think that it would be a very different match, I would say, I would even argue match of the night because I feel like me and Ewok can really throw down. We have some good chemistry, not only in our matches, but also in practice. He's a real sweet guy, real cool dude, down to earth guy. Love him to death.
I'm incredibly fond of Ewok myself. I feel like he is one of the great secrets that not enough people know about in this business. I have never seen that guy have a bad match. I have never seen that guy be anything but spectacular. So
No. He hits hard. He hits really hard. I remember, so I had my debut match against Ewok. I believe it was December of 2021 at the Wrestle League The Return show. I was the first match before Ewok and Shane Foster for the world title. Unfortunately, Ewok cut my debut short by a few seconds. The match only lasted a few seconds. So I definitely think if me and Ewok does run it back, it would be a lot more different. And I actually think we're going to cross paths at Frontline soon.
Oh boy. Well, good luck out there because Ewok is like a god in Wisconsin. So best of luck to you in your endeavors trying to scale that mountain. You had mentioned that you were you've wanted to do this wrestling since you were 4 years old. And Red and I have asked this question a great many times. What was that moment in your young life where wrestling came to the forefront and you said, you know, I'm going to do that? What popped you?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. So what captured me first? I was in diapers. My dad was downstairs watching SmackDown. It was a match between I believe Edge and Kurt Angle, because that was my first introduction to Kurt Angle. And I was like, well, what's this? Big guys beating each other up and they could get away with it? This is freaking awesome. So that's what like grabbed as far as like my attention. I would honestly say the point where I said out my mouth out loud that, yep, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I will honestly have to say when I was watching Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate at NXT TakeOver Chicago. After that match was done, I believe Tyler Bate dropped the strap from no, he dropped the strap to Pete Dunne. I said out of my mouth, yeah, I want to do this. One day I want to perform in front of Chicago at a NXT TakeOver event.
That is a pretty cool story. Red, your thoughts on everything this young man. Oh, whoop. Rion is waving the Ryan Matthews timeout flag, and Ryan Matthews is a copyright of Ryan Matthews.
No. I'd make this quick. I have a question for Mr. Swanson, if possible.
Yes, sir.
First off, thank you for taking the time out of your day for doing this, but I just want to get this out of the way now while it's fresh in my brain. How old were you when you had this conversation with your dad while you were in diapers to be able to speak so articulately in the way that you were as a child in diapers? How, because see, I know when I was a baby, I was only like saying maybe Google and Gaga, maybe. And the fact that you had a full on conversation while processing wrestling and be like, that's the thing I want to do, not swinging on stuff, not like trying to play with toys or Teletubbies or Sesame Street or anything in the sort. I just want to know how old were you? And I just, because I feel like I'm trying to process it. My apologies. I know I'll probably get beat up later, and that's fine. This is an ass whooping I'll gladly take, because I need to know how old were you when you did this, when you sat there and had that conversation, like, you know what? That's what I want to do. That's the thing. Because if it's anything other than 18, I don't want you to tell me. But, okay, I'm done. I'll go back in the cage. I'll be over here.
Well, there's the question. Answer away.
So to answer the question, sorry for the confusion. No, I did not have a conversation with my dad in diapers.
That would have been sick as fuck if you had.
I know. Now, however, the age that I was I would say I was about maybe like 2 or 3 when I started watching. 4 when I was able to.
I'll allow it. I will allow it. That's about the time that I started. I'll allow it. Me and my grandma used to watch NWA back in the day. So I will, and world class. I will allow it.
Thank you.
Continue. So you were 2 or 3 when you started watching. When did you have the conversation with the P's?
I'm sorry.
When did you have the conversation with your parents? I'm not going to college. This is what I'm going to do. Was this a conversation you had with them, or did you just say, fuck it, this is what I'm going to do. I'm EJ Swanson. I'm going to go get it done.
I tried to have the talk with them before, but as parents say, they did not agree with it. They actually wanted me to try to do both. I know as far as my mother went, she really didn't care as long as I wanted to do what I wanted to do. As far as my father, he actually suggested that I did both amateur wrestling and pro wrestling at the same time. I kind of disagreed because one thing I can say, uh, you know, at Wrestle League, we have very intense workouts. But I would say, amateur workouts are like really brutal and you have to like really condition yourself for a specific weight class, unlike pro wrestling where you don't have to have a specific weight class. You just need to be able to be strong enough to take care of your opponent in the ring.
All good answers, and hopefully Rion is satisfied with the depth of background that you have provided. I'm sure he'll chime in again if he's got other questions. Red, you have seen a million stories of young wrestlers coming into the business. What strikes you about young EJ?
Honestly, nothing. He took the same path I took. See, a lot of people don't know I was an amateur wrestler.
Hey.
The only difference is I quit. I told you I don't do stairs. So for us, our track, again, you got to understand we're the second largest institution in the state. And at that time, the entire building was being utilized. So to run up every damn flight of stairs, no. But I trained, and then it was like, you know what? This ain't actually, it wasn't what I wanted to do. I mean, I thought if I do the amateur thing, then, that would be the way to pro wrestling. But like EJ said, a lot of amateur wrestling, especially coaches, hate pro wrestling. So when my coach told me, I told him my love for pro wrestling, he was like, he shitted on it. And it was like, you're not gonna shit on my dream, bro. You're not. So, and at least he had a conversation, unlike me. I lied to my parents. So, and again, I did it way long shit. I probably did it when he was still in that. So he was having a conversation with his parents. I was lying to my parents. Just, So, but totally different cat. If you see the pictures from earlier and you see him now, I will agree and disagree with his last thing. At one point, at least for us, all those that came in Windy City, there was a weight class. So you couldn't be a lightweight and challenge for the heavyweight. That just wasn't going to happen. You were either going to be stuck with the middleweight or the lightweight. That was it. You weren't, going to evolve, just, oh, okay, you're that good, you get a heavyweight. No, wasn't going to happen. So there were weight classes in Windy City. As time went on, people start to challenge those ideas. And then again, a lot of people laugh. I'm one of them people. I can do rules. Again, just make it make sense. So if it don't make sense, I ain't got time. But and the reason why EJ got held up from going from suburban to public school, there's a little catch-22. You have to sit out a season because so at one point, especially in the 80s and 90s, a lot of students were switching from public schools to suburban schools and vice versa. And, they would get the hot prospect, somebody they've been following. And, then they try to bring them onto their team. And a lot of teams felt that was an unfair advantage, or coaches, I should say, were feeling like their people were being stolen from them. So that's why you get to sit out a whole year. Not because of anything you did, that's just how it is.
I figured that. I figured.
A lot, again, people were going, if you're a hot up and coming freshman and people know that you live a certain area, and then automatically you transfer to another school not within that district, then okay, you're who's paying you off, who's your booster or what have you, why are you leaving this facility to go to another facility? So it wasn't nothing on you. It's just the people before you, and then they put that in policy. You have to sit out, so good thing it didn't happen in your senior year,
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely. And like literally, because I made a joke to somebody I knew on one of I think the spring teams or whatever. Our school let us out literally the week after our wrestling season ended. And I was like, well, class of 2020, we didn't get none of the normal stuff, but at least I got a normal last wrestling season.
So now that we have talked about your background and your foreground and where you've been and what you've done, what do you want to do? If EJ Swanson could pick the path that he wants to take, what is the goal you have? Where do you want to end up? Who do you want to fight? What do you see as far as the future for EJ Swanson?
So as far as the future goes for EJ Swanson, I just want to make it as far as I can. Whoever wants to one day maybe pick me up, they're going to have a loyal soldier on their team. That's another thing about me. I'm always a loyal soldier. So another big shout out to those companies. Thank you. Now, as far as opponents, I believe I've tangled with everybody at Wrestle League, which I'm so thankful to say, because I know a lot of people at Wrestle League, they've been doing this more than I have, and they haven't wrestled everybody that's on the current Wrestle League roster. I believe the only people who I have not gotten in the ring with would be Russell.
Oh, you
don't want to get
in the ring with Russell. I don't want to get in the ring with Russell. He's not even Russell anymore. He's J.R. Lindsay now.
Oh, I'm sorry. J.R. Lindsay.
Yeah, he's gonna see. He's gonna shuffle on your page. That's what he does.
Real quick shout out to Russell for doing my brand new theme music, Have Mercy. I believe he has it on, I think, Apple Music or Spotify, or maybe both. I'll have to double check with him. But thank you, Russell, if you're watching this. But yeah, I know me and Russell, we've been wanting a one-on-one match real bad, no matter what promotion it's at. We don't care. We just want the opportunity to throw down. I've been in the ring with, Shogun, Jesus, Ewok, Shaq, Quinn, so many other guys who I can't even think at the top of my head. I've actually been in the ring with Disco Ray.
Hey. Yes, I've seen you. You were tag team partners with Disco Ray at one point.
Yeah.
That was a very, very fast romance, but that's neither here nor there. There's a good picture of you and Mr. Lindsay. rocking there. A place you will be working at this Sunday, IPW, you hold championship gold. What about IPW do you like?
I love
Before
that.
you answer that, there's a good picture of you getting your ass chopped. Getting chopped hard. I mean, maybe not that hard, but at least looks good on paper.
What he's not saying, EJ, is you're being chopped by him. So
Surprisingly, Steve chops hard. Surprisingly, he stings. It stings.
That's because I've been watching Marche Rocket for a decade.
Oh man,
who?
We're not going to go there right now, Red. We will go there at some point, but not right now. IPW. You've been there for a minute. You're a champion there. There's you staring down Nick Diamond. You've had some pretty epic matches there. What do you like about IPW? It's not your conventional wrestling promotion. A lot of crazy things happen there. What do you like about it?
I love the fact that I'm able to feel comfortable in regards to finding myself when it comes to in the ring. And I say that to say, when I had a conversation with Nick about amateur wrestling and pro wrestling, he asked me, okay, what's different from you than Kurt Angle? What's different from EJ Swanson than Brock Lesnar, than Shelton Benjamin, than Chad Gable, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, other amateur wrestlers people may have forgotten are pro wrestlers now. And I really thought about that. Could not have the answer for the life of me. But I thank IPW so much for giving me the opportunity. I know last show I experimented. I switched up my gear a little bit. Switched up from the trunks and tights, put back on a singlet. First time in about 4 years that I worn that singlet and headgear.
It is a pretty cool place to work. I like IPW because it is the most unpredictable place. The matches it's like fantasy wrestling. You have to wait till like 2 weeks before the show to find out what kind of crazy nonsense is going to happen. And then the guest hosts, I think that's something that's very unique, that is unique to IPW right now. This month it's the Workhorses, which is the worst case scenario, but the Power Hour hosted it.
Oh, they're not that bad.
They suck ass. Come on, man. Even you know
love
they
the
suck.
Workhorses over here.
You don't love the. Oh, now see. All right, Red, get him, Red.
Do not reduce yourself in my eyes right now, please.
Yeah, Rachel loves you. She hates the Workhorses. You better represent, kid.
They wrestle in sweats. They come to the ring with championship belts in sweats. They can't wrestle. They just flail and yell.
Well, I do a fair amount of flailing and yelling myself, so I can't give them shit for that.
EJ, please.
Yes.
Please.
So there they are.
Go
ahead, EJ. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was saying for Rachel, I'm sorry. But as for everybody else, Sunday, you got to keep your eyes open.
Speaking of Sunday, the match that everybody wants to see. Kid Lat and number one contender C-Red, NWA superstar C-Red, the urban sensation C-Red, the legendary icon C-Red, taking on the IPW League champion Damian Gray and the IPW Junior Heavyweight champion EJ Swanson. Gentlemen, you're going to be there in front of, I'm sure, a sold-out crowd, having to have words. And I think this might be the first time in a while we've had competitors in a match on a show coming up on the weekend, and you guys are about to dance. Well, we're waiting.
What do you want to be said, Steve?
What do you think about this option? I mean, EJ,
I mean, damn.
you got a shot at NWA. This guy has been on. This guy is his right now. His star has never been shinier. You take out this old man and beat him down. Someone may say, "Damn." And then on the other side, number one contender C Red. If you get in that ring and dominate two of the brightest young stars in the business, who knows what that does for you? Maybe that extends the December deadline. Let's do that again. December deadline, as Marche and I laughed about this past Saturday night. The December deadline that we do the air quotes a lot with that nonsense. With that poster behind you, you ain't leaving in December. Everybody knows. But you know, if you beat two young men, who knows?
First of all, if I survive, not have a damn heart attack, but I mean, I expect him to do what he's been doing. Bring his A game. He's been bringing his A game. Why would I not expect for him to not bring his A game? Now, do I like his tactics?
Sir, watch what you're saying.
So I do.
You calling somebody's tactics questionable. It's not a good look for you right now.
I'm just saying. I mean, part of me, I'm torn. You know, part of me, like I like his tactics. Like I wasn't mad when he realized, hey, you know, he was gonna cash in his medallion. You know, I just, you know, you beat the boy in front of his mama. You know, damn, you know, and she was front row, like, could have, you know, let her at least been 3 rows back, you know, so she couldn't see. But that's something that I would probably have done. But anyway, again, Sunday is going to be a regular day. All 4 competitors are gonna bring, well, 3 of the competitors are gonna bring their A game, and one old man is gonna just bring whatever he can muster out the bid that day. I ain't even gonna lie.
Oh, you still got it. Come on, you still got it.
I tell you what, EJ, when we get off this call, you drive over to my house and show me where it's at, because clearly I can't find it. But I mean, Steve, there you go. You're always trying to, you know, stir the pot. You know,
EJ, he is working you. He is working you right now. This is the dirtiest player in the game. You have no idea what you're in for. You better do your homework, EJ. He's going to kill you.
That is Ric Flair, not me. I am not the dirtiest player in the game.
Yeah, ask Marche Rocket who ain't dirty.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When you turn back on your children, that's pretty dirty.
Just saying. Again, you know, this is what he does, EJ. He wants us.
I'm just trying to help the young man out.
Be all on screen and you know, rambling and cussing each other out, and you know, be ready to rip the phones and monitors apart, and like, you know, so he can sit back, you know, because he's trying to take the heat off himself. So, you know, and we'll get to that.
Like there's this match.
Well, no, I guess you need a job to have heat, right?
That's right.
Right.
That's right. You got to have a job to have the heat. EJ, how do you prepare? I mean, you've faced Kid Lat before, so you know what Kid Lat is going to bring to the table. He's fast, he's quick, he can do everything in that ring. But I'm not sure if you've ever entered the squared circle against someone like the Urban Sensation. What are you doing to ensure that you and Damian Gray get the victory on Sunday?
Well, one thing we're not doing is taking anything light at all. We're both champions. We're going to keep our titles no matter what. I know I am. Shown that plenty of times against Kid Lat. One thing I was always taught, never underestimate your opponent. So going into this match, I know what I can expect out of Kid Lack. However, I've never tangled with C Red in the square circle before. So that's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. But I'm excited for it. I cannot wait.
Man, all I can say is be careful what you wish for. I just want your enthusiasm and your spirits are good and you are ready. I mean, you've been ready for a long time. I've never seen you enter the squared circle where you weren't ready to win. But you're stepping into the ring against C Red. Manipulator, master manipulator. You're entering the ring with C Red, whose business card says won't stop at nothing. He will do whatever he has to do to win. He's done it. I've seen it. I've watched it. C Red always has plan A. And if plan A doesn't work, he'll go to plan B all the way down to plan Z. And the man has been doing this 20 plus years. How do you find a weak spot in a maniacal genius with bad intentions that has 20 years plus of experience?
Not to toot my own horn, but you're talking to somebody who was trained by Shane Foster and Chris Logan. One thing he teaches everyone at Wrestle League is resilience and grit. Always, always, no matter how many times you knock anybody at Wrestle League down, not just me, anybody at Wrestle League, we're going to get back up. You're going to literally have to kill us, to put us down. That's how I know Kid Lack, he's going to be a bit of a fight, but at the end of the day, champions are going to be victorious.
So you feel pretty confident when you and C Red lock up on Sunday that you've got a plan and there's nothing going to stop you with your grit from getting a victory.
Oh yeah, nothing can stop me or Damian.
C Red, nothing can stop this young man, and he's considerably younger than you, and they got that Shogun grit. I don't know how much you can take if they're always going to get up, because at some point you're going to get tired and not be able to get up yourself just by logistics.
In my defense,
go ahead, EJ.
Oh no. I was going to say, in my defense, he does have Kid Lack, who has me beat by age by a couple years. So he should be good with Kid Lack. He has a lot of energy.
I mean, the thing, Steve, again, there you go, stirring the pot. He keep acting like this is a.
I don't know if you're gonna have Kid Lack. I mentioned that I murdered 2 children on Saturday. Kid Lack was one of them.
Rachel
Murdered children at the Festival of the Goat Queen. So maybe C Red will need another partner.
The question is, will Kid Lack be there Sunday? Can he make it?
Well, first of all, even if he does not make it, again, Steve, you just say I always got a plan. You don't think I got a plan for that?
I know you got a plan. That's what I'm trying to warn this young man about.
I'm just saying. But
for all you know, the plan could be me.
The point is, that's true. The point is, again, you acting like it is a one-on-one contest. Me versus EJ. He got to deal with the knuckle brain, the dude that's still stuck in the 50s, Damian Gray. Like, come on now. Like, dude ain't too.
He really did kill Kid Lack.
First of all,
that young man, he's dead.
Well, he's dead. He's dead. I mean, can't bring dead back.
Rachel really did kill him.
Well, I mean, you acting like you shot. Anyway,
fair.
Again, the dude is a reject from Happy Days, and I'm just saying, It's a tag team match. And again, I expect nothing more from EJ to bring everything. I'm hoping if he comes, he'll bring everything. You know, I know I don't. First of all, Damian, I get it. He just won the league title. I get it. He's high, but he deep inside, he has realized he has no more friends. He has none. All his friends have abandoned him. See, that's the difference. I have friends, he doesn't.
We should call him the fallen idol.
Now that would be Joey.
Yeah.
But again, Sunday will be Sunday. Right now it's all about EJ. And again, I want him to bring his A game. If we happen to be in there at the same time, hey, treat me like anybody else. He said, Wrestle League is resilient. Well, damn it, I'm a dinosaur and I refuse to die. Call me Jurassic Park. So,
Jurassic Red versus EJ Swanson. Man.
Oh, there he go.
It's going to be good.
You keep forgetting you got a damn match that night too, right?
I do. And regardless of what happens in that fiasco, EJ, I'm going to tell you, if you and Gray decide to do the shenanigans and you try to take advantage of my friend here, I'm coming for you.
I think Damian may have something to say about that.
I'm coming for that. He and I had issues too when he started messing with my family last month. So I got a check for him to cash. So we'll. Oh, there he is, George Michael Red. You ever see Red with red hair? You ever see Red with red hair?
No.
You got to take a look at this picture. I'm going to send you this picture. This is one of the greatest pictures of all time. It's George Michael Red. And that's just fantastic.
I need that picture to die.
It's never going to die. It's unkillable.
I need that picture to die.
Later on in the month of August, we head to Oak Creek, Wisconsin for Frontline Pro Wrestling Battle Lines. We were talking a little earlier about how much we enjoy Frontline Pro. Talk to me a little bit about your experiences up in Ben's promotion. I mean, it really is a special place to be.
Yes, a really beautiful place. So coming up at the next night, a Night for Tyler event, that's going to make my 1 year mark of officially being part of the Frontline Pro family. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. I actually remember the day that Ben reached out. We had started talking when I first started training. And then I believe it was like after a show, I had some more conversations. Before I knew it, had my own debut last year at Night for Tyler. I cost Ewok the match against Rock and Rivera.
Why you got to keep doing that, man? Cost everybody their match. Screwing Ewok, screwing Shogun. Man.
EJ Swanson does not forget. That's one thing. He may forgive, but he does not forget. Ewok beat me in seconds in my first match. So I just had to repay him the favor by making sure that he stayed away from the Battle Pro champion from Rock and Rivera at the time.
It's going to be my first night for Tyler. I'm very excited about it. I have heard, I'm not going to mention what it is right now. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. It's a bit, it'll be announced later on, but the magistrate and I have conversations from time to time, and I've caught wind of who you might be fighting at Night for Tyler. And we're not going to talk about it now, but brother, you better pack a lunch.
You know what?
Oh, we don't need to mention it, but let's just say you might be about to level up.
whatever is thrown at me, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever Frontline has to offer.
And you remember that impromptu match that you forced me to put you in, that we'll see coming up on the episodes of Crossfire. You know, me and the magistrate, you know, we have a relationship, a business relationship. You know, I have her ear, she makes the matches, and you know, you have found yourself in a tag team match against the Bros on the business end of an ass whipping. So can you just imagine what she's got cooking for you at night for Tyler 6?
Hopefully nothing painful.
We're just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to maniacally laugh my way right out of the topic. You know, it's awesome that I get to work at some of these places because I get to see you work often, and I really do appreciate your work, and I think you're really good at what you do.
Thank you so much.
Where else can the world find EJ Swanson? We know you're at Frontline. We know you're Wrestle League. We know you're at IPW. Did I hear you giving big thanks to Rocket Pro?
Yes, I have.
Talk a little bit about that. I'm pretty familiar with Rocket Pro.
Yeah, so I'm no stranger to Rocket Pro. I've wrestled for them plenty of times last year. I really don't know what this season of Rocket Pro Wrestling holds for EJ Swanson, but I do want to say if you thought that I made a big impact on Frontline and Wrestle League, keep your eyes open at Rocket Pro.
Rocket Pro right now is dormant. It's lying in wait for its big September debut Fall Brawl. And after
it's what? September?
September.
Okay.
September 9th.
Okay.
Fall Brawl. The debut of the new season. And boy, I don't think we could have ended things on a higher note in May. So a lot of people are looking forward to Rocket Pro coming back. And I bet EJ Swanson, there are some things there's some shenanigans you can cause at Rocket Pro.
Definitely.
Maybe we'll get you involved in a match for the with Rion Skills for his title, because that would be a pretty. Would you ever consent to fight Rion Skills for his the title that he won over Maximus Orion? I mean, that'd be a pretty cool match.
You know what? That's a pretty intense feud. I think I'm gonna just bag back a little bit, keep my eyes somewhere else that I could sneak right into.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you sneak for now, but don't tell me you wouldn't like to do it.
I definitely would. Definitely would.
I'd like to see that. That would be pretty fun. EJ, we are at that moment in time, and I don't know how it's going to work tonight. Because when we posted the show graphic that you were going to join us this week, I don't usually get angry emojis on our posts. We usually get hearts and thumbs up and such. Red had all sorts of angry emoji hate going on for our posts. Every post we made about having you on, I got angry mad face from our old friend Red. And Red is the man that gives the roses. So I don't know how this edition of the Red's Roses is going to go, but Red, even though you have a conflict of brewing on Sunday, do you have any roses for our young friend here?
First of all, let's stop the horses. Pull back the wagon. The angry emojis, because I know you, and I knew this is what you want. An episode where you can start stirring the pot all over again.
I'm not. Hey, I just think everybody.
Again, this episode is to take away from you, and
nope.
I get JFW roasted you like a roasted pig last night.
They did.
So, with that being said, the emojis had nothing to do with EJ. They had to do with the shenanigans and bullshit I knew you was gonna be on tonight. So, with that,
that's fine. Okay.
With that being said, EJ, I have watched you wrestle, sir, for a few months, probably maybe over a year now. Each match, you get more and more impressive. It's funny you brought up the singlet when you made your debut. I did not like that on you, just me personally. because I think you look way better in tights because it shows off who you are as a person. Wrestling wise, you have the ability that can't be taught. You can also see in your style that you do have amateur background. Some of your transitions are flawless.
Thank you.
A lot of
Thank
people
you.
don't get that way if they haven't had that background. You are also a great mat wrestler. I think people look more of your maybe high flying ability or the things you're able to do, but don't realize and they kind of underestimate your mat skills. But I've seen them in bits and pieces throughout over the year. I love the fact that you have a goal. And I'm going to tell you, like I tell everyone else, don't keep that goal. If you need to, that's that mirror right there behind you. Write it on a sticky note. Put it on your mirror. That reminds yourself of what your goal is. You keep reminding yourself of what your goal is, and you, sir, have the ability to make it. Again, all it takes is that one person.
Thank you so
One
much.
person to see you. One person to ask, hey, who's that kid? Hey, somebody give me that kid's contact information. If I was ever asked that, I would gladly give it to you. You have I love the fact that and I'm gonna shoot for a second. I love the fact that you are one of the most mild-mannered and well-respected young men I've come across.
Oh, thank you so much.
And in this business, that in itself speaks to you as a person. And you know,
Sorry about that. Somebody.
oh, it's cool. To hell with everything about Sunday. I know every time,
No.
hey, it happens, man. It
Can they
happens.
hear you? Can they hear you?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh,
We're live.
I am so sorry. Jesus Christ.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
guys.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you? I
Just
like your
fine.
glasses. They're cool.
Thank you. Thank you. We're just having a conversation with EJ about his life and times.
Oh, look, I came into work interrupted. I'm so sorry.
No worries. We're glad to have you on board.
Thanks. So let me get out here.
Like, dude, when every time I see you, and I don't, I get that I'm the old guy, the vet or whatever. I don't get that vibe from you. I just get the respect factor when you see me. And I appreciate that. A lot of young guys come in with a chip on their shoulder and think, damn it, I'm owed something. And I don't get that vibe from you. The vibe I get from you is that I'm going to work to get what I deserve. So as long as you keep that worth ethic and you keep that gold in mind, EJ, you can make it as far as you want to make it in this business.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That is amazing. Well done, C-Red. C-Red always has a way with words and the roses. EJ, we've had a great time having you on the show, and we'll tell you what we tell everybody. we've got things we got to talk about now. You're more than welcome to stay and join the conversation, or if you have things to do, you can sign off now. But we hope that you'll come back and visit us at some point down the road. We'll catch up with you, and we'll keep an eye on your career as we go forward, because we love having you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to be back on the show. Unfortunately, I do have to get out of here. But this was amazing. I was so excited for this pod. Man, I'm sorry, I'm geeking over it.
We love the fact that people like to be on our show. We love the fact that people get excited to be on it. That's why we do it. So your enthusiasm makes our day and makes us happy. And when you get a chance to watch it and see Rion feeding the photos the whole time, I think you're really going to be happy.
Oh man, I can't wait.
It'll be posted a little later tonight, and I will tag you in it. And once again, thank you so much. And we'll all see you on Sunday as you go tag team action against our co-host. You better mind your manners, because he's got a lot of friends. Maybe you don't have as many.
I'm gonna watch out this Sunday.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's EJ Swanson, the one and the only. You can catch him this Sunday at IPW, along with Damian Gray versus with Kid Lat and C Red. Thanks a bunch, EJ. We appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you, EJ.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you guys. See you Sunday.
EJ is taking his leave of us, and we were glad that he was here. So that was amazing. Rachel also taking her leave of us. She stayed for the interview. She's got some things to do. That's why we talked about the Festival of the Goat Queen, because I wanted to get her opinions on that. She'll be back next week, and we appreciate her very much. All right, Red, I was ducking nothing, but we have to talk to our guests. So it's not about me, it's about them. So here we go. Seems like you got a few things on your mind. So
Hey, so what happened Friday?
Well, here's the thing.
Oh Lord.
I had a really, really long weekend. It was a lost weekend. Things did not go my way anywhere, which makes me a little nervous about IPW on Sunday, because I am on a bad luck streak like you wouldn't believe. Steve Boz and TJ Steele. First of all, I'd like to apologize to the people that saw me be the worst referee in the history of referees. It was not pretty. I've never done it before, so it was a struggle. It was not my finest hour, but I did the best that I could. In the end, I allowed distractions to get in my way. I got pulled out of the ring by Eric Schultz, and I missed some chicanery. And then, as things are going good and Steve Boz is about to get a victory, Schultz jumps up on the ring and distracts me. I go over there and try to get him off the ring, and Iniestra comes and hits Boz with a suitcase, knocks him unconscious, and then I'm forced to count 1, 2, 3, not only to give TJ Steele the victory over Steve Boz, but to seal my fate as no longer being CSW general manager. I try not to let that be a dark cloud for me on what was an amazing show. I got to meet one of my wrestling heroes in Ken Anderson. They say don't meet your heroes because you'll always be disappointed. He was as nice and generous with his time, and was so cool. And it was great. It was just great. I couldn't have had more fun watching him perform and calling a match of his. He didn't fare any better than I did as the Conan Lycan and the Hate Keepers did what they do best, cheated to win. But boy, even as an older professional wrestler, he is still so fast and so powerful and commands such attention in the ring. You just think that he hasn't missed a step. He's actually gotten better, I think. And he was so good. Friday night, it was amazing. And, all the matches were really, really cool. Marche and, why
Garrett.
Yes, Garrett. I'm sorry, I was drawing up. I got hit in the head quite a few times this past weekend. And JJ Garrett, JJ Garrett took a play out of C Red's playbook, faked an injury to get an advantage over Marche, and darn near, it was a hot mess, but it was a great match. Marche chopped JJ Garrett harder than any. It was the loudest Marche chop I've ever heard. There's a clip of it online. If you get a chance to see it, you should check that shit out because it was deafening, and it was like his chest caved in. It was something. The Dad Bod Demigod, I really thought was going to win the Metro Division title. Not to be. There were shenanigans. And Inestra is still your Metro Division title. Something happened. Actually, two things happened that make this a very, very historic show. Hades X1X was involved in a match against Tupu, and it was supposed to be Cypher, but Cypher suffered some injuries and was not able to perform. So I brought in a couple of ringers to make it a fatal four-way. In Elite Marco Anthony, who has got issues with Tupu, and since Hades has been breaking up the young talent, I brought in Mr. Quintero to make his big debut. And, it was an amazing match. Hades did win the match, and, that's all well and good, but it's what Hades did during the Vic Capri Mario Pardua match versus Jax Johnson and Ryan Matthews that shocked the world. After that match was over, Hades X1X came in and did a number on Vic Capri. And after he was done just assaulting Capri's injured knee, Hades removed the mask and went on a tangent, standing over a broken Vic Capri, saying, everybody in that locker room is fair, whether you have no friends. I am your only friend. I don't know what Jason Hades, obviously the mask has revealed the true person that is behind Hades X1X. It's Jason Hades. And, anybody that's watched professional wrestling in the area and elsewhere knows exactly who the hell Jason Hades is. Anybody that's followed Crash Tested Wrestling, Dreamwave Wrestling, Jason Hades is a bad motherfucker. And the fact that he was the man under the iron mask, I mean, there were theories certainly, but what if you get a chance to see it when it airs on IWTV, it wasn't live on IWTV, but it will be coming in the near future as an episode you can watch. Listen to the promo that Jason Hades cut. It chilled my bones. It made me feel cold. There's something not right going on between Hades and Capri, and I'm very interested to see where it goes. Also, the women's scramble match had a very interesting end, and I guess these NWA people stick together, so Red spoiled it. After the match was over, Shelly the Bombshell and Maggie May were attacked from behind by the Heather Recklesses and the Amina Belmonts of the world. And from out of nowhere, after almost a 3-year hiatus from CSW, the return of Chicago's sweetheart, Missa Kate, popped the room, might have been the pop of the night. When she hit the floor and got into that ring and starting raining down hellfire, it was an amazing moment in CSW history. There, with Sky Blue moving on to AEW, not that the women's division has suffered, because it really hasn't. Sierra as champion is magnificent, and with Heather Reckless and Shelly, all the other young ladies, Bombshell Shelly. I mean, the women's division is as strong as it's ever been. But when you lose someone like Sky, you wonder what's going to happen next. And the fact that Missa has returned and still never reclaimed her title shot. So I think she's got plans to be around for a minute. It just makes CSW stronger and better.
I disagree. I think, yes, losing Sky was a blow, but let's be honest, dude. The CSW Training Center has knocked out the park some top-notch women superstars. So,
and the young ones were showcased. Maggie,
right?
May,
So
Lily La Pescadita,
right? But the new ones again. So I only see bright things, in their future. As long as they stick, to the regiment that they've been doing. Again, think about it. Where's Mr. Kate at?
NWA,
Where's Sky Blue?
AEW.
So the formula has been working, right?
It has.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But it was really great to have Miss Kate back in a CSW ring. I can't wait to see what she does next. Also, the tag team match between Joey Avalon, Sierra versus Big Mood. There were two things that happened in that match that were shocking. The kiss between Mateo Valentine and Joey Avalon basically popped eyes. It was one of those cartoon situations where when the kiss happened, everybody had cartoon eyes. It was on commentary. We were just like, what did we just see? And then it's the first time in the 10 years that I've been calling matches that I saw somebody give their tag team partner an accidental pile driver. Now, you'll have to check out CSW in the heat of the night on IWTV when it gets there to see what I mean by an accidental pile driver. Just think about those words. How do you get somebody in a position to accidentally pile drive them is the question that needs to be asked. But after the accidental pile driver, Sierra was on the receiving end of said pile driver. And when she came to, she was not very happy. And she was fairly aggressive with Joey all evening long. And Joey really was, she demanded a kiss at the beginning of the match. Joey wasn't a blind. So Joey's been going through some stuff because Sierra has not been treating him real great. It came to a head at the end of that match because Joey sat in the ring after she was kind of beating on him a little bit. Why'd you cost me another match? Why are you embarrassing me? Joey said, you know what? Maybe we ought to take a break. And then got up and left the ring without her and left Sierra shocked. So the power it couple that are Sierra and Joey Avalon, there seem to be a few chinks in the armor. And Mateo and Jack Moody are still your tag team champions. So despite not being general manager anymore, it was a show to celebrate because it was one of the best ones CSW has had in a minute, and it was really, really fun to be there that night. Everybody,
well, at least you still got commentary, right? Hopefully.
Well,
prayfully.
As the show ended, it's my job to get up on the mic and thank the people for coming and telling what they can expect the following month. And as I began to do it, and the crowd gave me a lovely ovation because they knew it might be my last time. Who do you think came out of the back?
Well, you're not the general manager anymore, so I would assume it's the new general manager.
He came out and he announced that our guests next month, we have two. Warhorse returns to Franklin Park for CSW, and a certain hardcore legend named Tommy Dreamer will be making his way to Franklin Park as well. So pretty good people to bring in, to be sure. And Marche Rocket is still #1 contender. So the reign of Conan Lycan may be up if that is the main event match next month in August. He told me, TJ Steele said, Steve, firing you is too good for you. Not going to do it. I'm going to make your life so miserable, so horrible that you will have to quit and I won't have to pay you unemployment. Now, I don't know what that means, but I certainly don't like the sound of it.
Well, I know what that means. I mean, if you quit, you left on your own reconnaissance, and your employer does not have to give you unemployment. You can file for it, but it'll be denied.
But as you know, not working for CSW anymore, I am I'm certainly not liable for the $20 million ridiculousness. And at the end of the day, we all know that was a ploy to get me put in this position to lose my job. So you know what? I was general manager from January 2020 until July 2023. 3.5 years as general manager of any company. That's a hell of a long run. Not many general managers last that long in that position, let alone at a place like Chicago style that has a rich history. There have been many general managers of Chicago style wrestler, and I think I might be the longest tenured when it all comes down to it. I'll have to ask Stan Payne who the longest running general manager was, and maybe I will do that next month. But the point is, I was the general manager when the pandemic happened. I was the general manager when the world opened back up and we had half seating capacities and we're doing stuff outside. So CSW is very important to me historically because, I have done a lot of cool things there. So it's bittersweet that I don't get to be general manager anymore. I'll still be there. God only knows what he'll have me doing. But, they say when a door closes, another one opens. I'll have to look for that open door somewhere. But that's CSW in a nutshell. CTW, that is a whole other story.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
Well, you don't get mouthy, Mr. Red, because you've got just as much shit to answer for as I do when it comes to crash tested wrestling. You have lied and cheated and been dishonest with everybody when it comes to this bullshit. I don't want to ever hear you again call Marsha Rocket your son, your brother, your fam, your nephew.
I've never called him my nephew.
You lost the right to refer affectionately to Marsha Rocket for the rest of your life after what you did. That was heinous.
Oh.
Heinous.
Was it heinous or was it beautiful?
It was not beautiful. It was bullshit.
It was beautiful. Because nobody knew. Nobody knew.
I hope
nobody knew.
Not even Miles knew.
No, nobody knew. The best kept secret is the secret no one knows.
C-Red, you have been an amazing personality, manager, wrestler, performer in this business for over 2 decades. That is a hell of a long career. And you are regarded as the urban sensation for a reason. You're working at NWA for a reason. But I have to tell you, mister, you've done fucked up this time. Because Marsha is going to take this shit personal.
Well, first of all, I'm sure you saw the exclusive footage.
I saw you run away like a shivering bitch. That's what I saw.
First of all, I ain't got no dog in that fight. I ain't got no dog.
You ain't got no what?
I ain't got no dog in that fight. Everybody wants to throw hands.
Miles ain't your dog? Miles ain't your dog.
First of all, me and Miles were explaining to Cody that technically we should get the first shot. And then all of a sudden, we were attacked.
And you ran like a scalded cat.
No, it's either fight or flight. And Miles was in a fight.
I ain't seen you run that fast in a year.
So I was in
like
flight.
You had wings on your damn feet.
Hey man, look, I had to get Jamie home. Jamie wasn't
That
feeling
is
good.
that is some
Jamie, the
bull
photographer, wasn't
shit.
feeling good.
Jamie,
And
you need to address this on social media. You know that shit.
Jamie wasn't feeling good, and I said,
Jamie
you
was
know
feeling
what?
fine. Jamie was
I gotta
laughing.
shut up. I gotta get Jamie home.
That's
So I needed
wrong.
to get
So
Jamie
wrong.
home. So
The only person that wanted to go home at that time was Renee, but that's a story for another time. All I'm saying is Marche Rocket is gonna get you, and I don't know if I'll be there because I'm unemployed. I'm not working at Crash Tested anymore. That was the end for me. Destiny 5
2
was
jobs,
it
2
was
days.
my final.
You worse than Craig. How you lose 2 jobs in 2 days?
You know, I love the fact that you just made a Fridays reference. It revolving me in it. That's amazing. I'm gonna run this back many times. Listening to you call me Craig from Friday. That makes you Day, you know.
No, I ain't Day. I'm smoking.
Oh, okay. You give me Smokey if you want. Ah, yeah, there he is. And you'd be happy to say I got knocked the fuck out.
Here's another hidden gem. I used to be called Big Perm.
Big Perm?
Based off of Big Worm.
We've seen that picture of you with the red hair, so your perm is very nice.
No. So I know literally I used to have a perm.
Where are pictures? I want to see them. You got to have some somewhere.
I don't. Again, I'm sure if you call Diamond, I'm sure she might, if she hasn't burned them all.
She burned them.
She probably did.
She burned them. There it is.
No, mine was way better. Mine was down to my shoulders. So,
I mean, I love the fact that your ears in this photo are so light skinned. I mean, it's very nice.
I appreciate it. You know, hey, I was trying something different.
It's like your two-tone.
I was trying something different, man.
So you're right.
Hey man, so let's not talk about me or you. Let's talk about that there are new champions in Crash Tested.
Yes.
And Cody James, I'm figuring you out. But Cody James is the new CTW heavyweight champion.
And I think he's going to have a fantastic championship reign. He's one of the best working today. And where else does Cody James work?
I don't know.
NWA.
Oh, that's right. And then you have new CTW. So it's funny that they kept saying vacant. Yet we did not vacate them. We were stripped of our titles. The ARC.
Stripped of what?
We never gave those titles up.
Which titles?
The tag team titles.
You were never tag team champions.
As a group.
Are you talking about Willie and Rion as tag team champions?
Understand. Those belts
were
won by the group. If you look at my contracts, I can go pull them out for you. It said ARC. It never said Rion Skills or Willie Richardson. So
I got a question.
What?
My question is this. We saw at Destiny Reborn, or we saw prior to Destiny Reborn, former champion Nick Brubaker come in and take exception with Marche Rocket, which was a big match at Destiny Reborn.
Right.
So my question is, why didn't the ARC do the same thing?
Because we were still the champs.
Yeah, but you're not the champs now.
I know, right? You know, that's heartbreaking.
And Nick
the new champs are I don't know how he got them back together. Is the Pledge. So you know, you just said you see Cody having a nice long, lengthy title run.
Yeah, nobody's gonna beat the Plague. Unless Marche brings Shogun and the final level comes to Maryville to fight for those titles. I don't see any tag team right now.
they can be beat because they can beat themselves. We have seen, history has proven the Plague don't always get along.
Yeah, but they
Right?
got the manager now, and they're
Is he a manager? Because all I saw was some freaky out dude bring him out, and then he left.
you can't talk
So-
about Miles that way.
So I'm just saying, and I think the biggest, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna shoot again.
I like you shooting here because I think I know what you're going to say, and I'm 100% behind you.
I've never heard a fucking crowd go ballistic the way they did when Jay Thunder beat Nick Diamond to become the Chasing Destiny's champion. Dude, that shit. And so if you weren't there, which shame on you, Maryville, Indiana,
Dean and Barbara White Rec Center.
there we go. Also had an MMA event the same night, right? So they already got chaos going and bullshit and all that. For that one moment that Jay Thunder won, you'd have swore up and down, we were hosting all those people.
Our crowd was louder than
They were loud as
no doubt.
hell.
At a couple of different times.
And honestly, he deserves
No doubt.
it. Jay has been busting his ass for a few years now in this business. And I honestly, I'm going to be honest, and again, shoot and think everybody overlooked his ass, and just figured, he'll go away.
When he first started, he started with us at GPW. And I knew back then that he was the consummate big man. And I watched him as he developed some of his moves. Have you ever seen him do that one where he tosses somebody up and then punches them back down in one motion? I still don't know how the fuck he does that one thing, but that's a very impressive move. Jay Thunder has deserved a championship for a long time. He's a good guy. He's a great talent, and he is everything you want from a giant human being. People love the big wrestlers. He's as big as it gets, and he commands a room like no other.
Dude, I'm happy for Jay Thunder.
And Jay defending that title this Sunday at IPW. It's his first title defense as the crash-tested Chasing Destiny title is traveling to Richmond Park. CEO Jed has allowed the title defense. It's pretty cool.
All right. Other matches, Vegan Venom was chicken shit.
Got to call a spade a spade.
Didn't show.
I think Renee Van Peebles is sweet on Diesel tracks because every time she sees that boy, she beats his ass. And back in grammar school, when a girl would beat your ass, that meant she liked you.
Well, we know that's what it used to mean. Renee just is a nasty person.
I have never seen Renee in a worse mood. The entire Saturday night, she was just mad.
Well, again, why wouldn't you be when, think about it, it's a street fight. You have been training, you have been focusing on a particular match, and the night gets there, and as the time goes on, your opponent isn't there, and then you find out your opponent isn't coming. So I commend her for stepping in the ring, trying to address the situation. But Diesel and Danger, we can call them now D&D Destruction.
Yes, we can. They're going to fight the Plague at some point, and that's 2 homicides that night.
Yeah. Otherwise, great show. People love our special guest Rhino. everybody left I believe happy. So good show.
Me.
Good show.
I didn't leave happy.
Well, 2 jobs and 2 nights, bro.
I left unemployed.
I get it. I get it.
So Crash Tested will be back in September for Aftermath. And if you saw the footage, you know what? Let's play that footage. Let's play that.
Why?
Footage.
We don't need to play the footage. We got other things to talk about.
Everybody would like to see Red run like a scalded dog.
They don't need to see
I
it.
would.
Well, watch it after the show as you edit in the video. Like, God, come on.
I'm gonna take my glass off so I can see.
Wait. My apologies, folks. So we don't want to talk about this match with Steve at all. We just fine with it, even with it being brought up on JFW's podcast. Even with everyone,
we're gonna talk about JFW.
Nobody want to talk about it at all. That's fine.
I wasn't there. Oh Lord, cut this.
I don't know, man. Whoa. Hold up. I don't know how y'all do it in time, but the ARC, we do stuff about paperwork. And well, my contract says former champ, you first in line. So what you say about it, champ? Man, I can do 1, 2, 3 at that.
Red run. That was
Whatever.
melee, but
Well, since you want to talk about it, Steve. So how did you lose your job on Saturday?
Hey, wait! Before you say anything else, I'm just going to point this out. When you go back and look at this footage, Judge Williamson's hand goes up as Steve comes out. It's going to be an awesome transition when you see it. You're just going to have to trust me when you see that. You'll be impressed. Even for you, Steve, you'll be impressed on how.
Now I gotta see it. Now I gotta see it.
So that sets up the big main event at Aftermath, as Judd Williamson had said in his address. You've got Cody James teaming up with Marche Rocket, and those guys had a blood feud for a while, going up against Miles Mercer and Chris Miller. So wrestling makes for strange bedfellows, that's for sure. And that's your main event at Aftermath. I can't wait to see what else happens as we get a little closer to September. You want to talk about my match?
Yes.
I lost. I lost my match. Lost my temper. I pushed. How did I lose? I took a nut shot. That was part of it. But it was because the referee was distracted. I put hands on the official. You're not supposed to do that. I had that match all but won. I was eviscerating Cameron after he kicked me in the ass twice. I got up and I was choking him and chopping him and choking him and chopping him. And I was about ready to finish the job. But I let my temper get the better of me. I pushed an official. I took a nut shot and went down, got covered 1, 2, 3. And I thought, well, crap. It's over.
Wait. That's wrong. That is wrong.
You want to correct history if you want to correct it?
Especially since I never made a count 1, 2, 3. Yes, because apparently everyone thinks that I made a count 1, 2, 3 for Cameron to have the pinfall. That is incorrect.
Well, I was incoherent because my balls were in my chest.
And
so
you had every right to be incoherent. But this is something that was said on JFW, and I'm telling you, I never went 1, 2, 3 on Cameron. I stood there.
I've not seen video of the match. I don't remember anything. I just remember the match restarting.
Oh yeah. I called for the bell while Cameron was on the ground. There was no count made. I stopped the match immediately. That's what happened.
There have been moments in my life where I have had pure fear. And that was one of them. And I was so angry that he hit me in the balls, and I was in so much pain that all I saw was red, and I just punched Cameron in the face as many times as I could. That, I believe, is when you disqualified me.
Especially since I warned both of you at the beginning with closed fists to please stop before I disqualify you.
And I did not listen, so my temper tantrum cost me the match and my job. Is that about accurate, Rion?
That is about as accurate as I can give you, considering this photo I'm about to put up.
I'm waiting for the photo, the photographic evidence. That was right. That's the nut shot right there. That's him rearing up and me and yeah. That is not the most subtle nut shot I've ever seen. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so I was general manager of 2 places. Now I'm general manager of no places. And I'm not even, at CSW, at least they still retain my services in whatever sick, twisted plot TJ Steele has. But at Crash Tested, I'm just gone. So enjoy Aftermath, Red. I hope Marche kills you.
Guess what? I got some strings I could pull. I can get you a job.
Listen, you're not going to do to me what they did to Kenton years ago. I'm not coming back to Crash Tested to clean the toilet.
I got you. I got you. Steve. I got you.
Well, you may got me, but the CEO has other plans, and we'll find out what happens down the road. The JFW podcast. So let me be very honest and very truthful. Did you happen to catch the interview Turtle did moments after I walked back through the curtain after I lost my job and the match?
Yes, I did.
Now, Red, you have followed sports and you have been a professional wrestler for your whole life. As far as you followed sports your whole life, you've been a wrestler for more than 2 decades.
Yep.
After you've put your soul into something and it doesn't go the way you want to, you get back into the locker room and you usually need a few minutes to recover yourself, right?
Correct.
In the NFL, the MLB, and the NBA, they allow the players a half an hour before the press gets to talk to him, right? They let Justin Fields take off his stuff, get in his suit, and then he comes out and sits down after he's had a chance to reflect to give intelligent answers, right?
Correct.
Back in the old days when they would be at your locker as you're changing, what had a tendency of happening when you go in?
Somebody would snap off. Somebody would go off, and so
kind of like I did, right?
Yep.
So I was emotional, I was upset, and Nubby hit me at the worst possible times. I was unprofessional, and I said things that I shouldn't have said and didn't necessarily mean. So I will apologize to the JFW podcast for the emotional response. But, sometimes in the interest of journalistic integrity, maybe wait more than 5 minutes before you try to ask somebody, what is he going to do next? And how does he feel about losing a match at Destiny, which he had desperately wanted for all these years, and his job at Crash Tested Wrestling, which he's loved since day one.
Let me say this, and let's get off the JFW podcast.
Do you know what the title of their episode was?
I know. I saw.
What was the title of JFW?
Stevie 2 loses his jobs, something like that.
Stevie 2 less jobs.
So here's my thing.
If it were me, I would have said Stevie 2 vacancies, but that's neither here or there. It has a better ring. I'm just, if it were me, but I didn't say it. I'm just saying
what Turtle did was classless, and I'm gonna say it again. Somebody that calls you friend, somebody that calls you brother, to again, whether you you like him or not. Again, you never kick a man when he's down. Hell, I'm gonna be honest. I knew you lost your job. Did I say anything to you that night about losing your job the night before or that night? No, I
No,
didn't.
you did not.
No, I didn't. You got in my face and asked me why I did what I did with Marche. That's a different story. But again, I didn't kick you when you were down. And so honestly, I don't think even Travis had anything to do with it. I just think
I don't know about that.
I don't. I think it was Turtle trying to get a scoop in the podcasting journalistic sense of way, if that even makes sense. But he should have, again, how about ask you before he just comes in your face and starts recording? He didn't do that. How about give you a few days or even give you the next day and say, hey, or even Monday, hey, Steve, you got any statements to make as far as what happened Friday and Saturday? He didn't. He took advantage of a moment right after you were at your lowest point and took advantage of it. So again, yeah, Turtle, I said it. Tasteless, very tasteless. You don't do that to free.
Turtle is, he's been my friend a long time, and we have seen some shit together. And could it have been done better? Yes. But Turtle also was involved in a very aggressive match earlier, and he was involved in some shenanigans and some bad things on Friday. So his weekend wasn't stellar either. So I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. I've said,
his weekend ain't about to be stellar this weekend.
Let's
true. Move on.
Even PX, my friend, the LIM,
my grandson,
our boy, your grandson. You know what he said? He told me to go fuck myself. Red, you got to discipline your grandson.
That's not entirely true. That's not entirely true. Because if you listen, he didn't want to say it. He was borderline bullied to say it, but he was also part of the show, so he's going according to the rules. And even when he had to say it, he didn't say it fast enough to where he being Travis T, just threw away the entire idea because he tried to make sure, because of a sound bite that he kept replaying to him as far as him talking about a hot girl, he kept making a deal with him. And ultimately, he didn't say it fast enough, because the very last thing that he said was that the next thing that comes out of your mouth better be that Steve needs to go fuck himself. And he didn't say that. So he nixed the entire thing and then went back to doing the entire scenario of playing the hot girl bit. So that, yes and no. He didn't want to say it. It's very clear he didn't want to say it. So as much as I get that you want to say that he did, he was under duress and pressure. It's not like it was me, as you try to get me to do something and I just say, fuck it and don't. He was under duress in that scenario, and he normally isn't in that position that often.
You're 100% right. I give PX a lot of credit. He really didn't want to say it, and that made me feel
really didn't want to. I get you being upset, but but we both know he really didn't want to say that.
Honestly,
he was put in a very, very bad position.
He was put in a bad position. Honestly, I thought they had a great episode. It was very entertaining, and even though I was not painted in the nicest of lights, the JFW podcast is pretty good. So go ahead and watch it. But if you don't watch it, you just don't tell them, because you don't want that. No, nobody wants that. Let's finish up this episode with a little bit more IPW.
Well, there's a show Friday, sir.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's right. Let's talk Friday, and then we'll end with IPW. A Night to Remember. The ARC is in attendance.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, talk. I'm not there, so I don't have much to say.
All I'm gonna say is this Friday, July 28th in Tinley Park. Uh, the WAW presents a night to remember. All I'm going to give you right now is for the WAW North American Women's Championship. It will be the Midwest Slayer, Stacy Shadows, versus, hot off her appearance on NWA, Samantha Starr, and accompanying Samantha Starr will be her mother, none other than the one and only, the original 10 Baby Doll.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yes, sir.
A lot of cool things. Didn't I see Latimer is being featured at the night to remember?
Again, I'm giving you what I'm dealing with, sir.
And Camille.
For the WAW North American Heavyweight Championship, it will be Mustang Mike versus Mason Pex, which
Perks.
we know Perks, which we know of, and he will be accompanied by the Sinister Minister of Fear. This is one for the books. The AIWF World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line as the Golden Boy, Greg Anthony, puts his title up again, the Ace of Spades, Scott Spade, along with Mistress Misery.
Scott Spade's a bad dude.
Also, yes, the ARC will be there, as I will be managing Miles Mercer. And I will be unveiling a new tag team.
So a night to remember indeed for the ARC and C Red. It's at the Tinley Park Convention Center, which is accessible from many different ways. 183rd Interstate 80. It's right off of Harlem Avenue, and it's a gigantic thing, and it should be a hell of a crowd. You guys, that's going to be one hell of a crowd.
We are open, so if you haven't get your tickets yet, go to Eventbrite, get your tickets right now. Tickets are limited left online. Tickets will be limited at the door. And here's a little secret: if you get your tickets online, or if you get your tickets at the door, tell them C-Red sent you.
I saw that online. Tell them Red sent you.
Tell them Red sent you.
I might even show up there myself.
Hey, tell them Red sent you.
So that's Friday night. If you want to go see some wrestling here down in the south suburbs, Tinley Park, it's not very far from the, I don't know what they're calling it now. It used to be called the World Music Theater. It's the big amphitheater in Tinley Park. It's got a new name now. I think it's the Credit One Amphitheater now or some such thing. But it's, very easy to get to. Go check out some wrestling. It's a great venue.
Hey, I need a favor.
Favor from me?
Yeah.
What do you need?
So normally we never do this, but I want to plug. We talk about him so much. My good friend Jim, who Billy Wag, we've got history and Acid and all the LWF gang. So Jim is doing a toy and collectible sale. And if you remember Muggsy, when Muggsy was on, Muggsy said that he went to Jim's and he finally got that Hardy Boy 3-pack.
Yep.
From Jim. So that's going to be happening actually this Saturday. And it starts at 9. The address is 6618 Parkside Drive in Tinley Park. And the sale starts at 9 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for especially vintage wrestling figures, he still has some left. You're looking for old collectible toys, he has them. You're looking for statues, he's got them. You're looking for Star Wars, he's got them. He's even bringing out some comic books this time. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say it's a toy and collectible sale, it's a toy and collectible sale.
You think he's got a $6 million vintage action figure from 78?
I know he does. Well, I'm not going to say he doesn't, but that might still be in his personal collection. But he's got a ton of stuff. And I was there the last time he did it. And trust me.
What'd you buy?
I didn't buy anything. I went to hang out with my friend and his family.
Gotcha.
But it's a lot of stuff, and people are always leaving with great deals. He doesn't jack up the price, to try to drive the market wild or whatever. No, he actually, for me, I can definitely tell people those statues. I was with him when he bought a lot of those statues, and so people are getting those for fair, if not cheap, market value. So please go support Ian, 6618 Parkside Drive in Tinley Park this Saturday at 9 a.m. You will find me. I will be making an appearance there and signing autographs and all that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So if anybody's never met me or wants to meet me, I'll be there. So
will you sign it NWA Superstar C Red?
Just for you. Yes, I will.
I'm gonna have to come to Tinley Park then. That's gonna be fun. All right, so that's cool. Let's go down the card real quick for IPW before we wrap this package. I'm so excited because
the special attraction,
Marshe Rocket makes his way to IPW, and him fighting Shaq Jordan. All right, kids, let's get real. This is what you would call a dream match. Marshe Rocket's been doing this for a long time. Red is no longer allowed to talk about Marshe Rocket on this show. He has been banned from all things all day from here on out. I will not.
Why, Marshe?
Don't get that. Keep that name out your mouth. Keep that name out your mouth, or I'm gonna Will Smith you.
Marshe is a great talent. Marshe is a great talent.
Don't you talk about Marshe now.
I just said he was a great talent.
Don't you talk about Marshe now. You don't get to say that name anymore. Mr.
All
Soul
day.
Toucher. You should get your Soul Toucher license revoked for that shit.
I'm the originator.
Yeah, you can be the originator. You fucked up. That hand is going to find your chest at some point. That may stop your heart. Maybe you will get to retire in December if he chops your ass and stops your heart.
Nah.
Moving on.
Anyway, talk about the match.
Marshe Rocket has been the prototype of 6-tool talent in a 5-tool world. I have called him that for a decade. I have referred to Shaq Jordan in those terms again recently myself. I haven't seen someone with a Marshe Rocket skill set till I saw Shaq Jordan perform. So Marshe Rocket has fought everybody, but I don't know what happens when Marshe Rocket fights someone so similar to himself, because Shaq can do everything Marshe can do, and maybe even a few things Marshe can't do. And I don't say that lightly, because I have found in my career, Marshe Rocket might be the best performer I've got the opportunity to work with and call in any match. He is a legend to me. And to put Shaq Jordan in that rarefied air, this match is a bona fide television match. It's going to, the people that come out to Richmond Park, if you like wrestling, this is a match that everybody should want to see, because what these two guys are going to do in that ring is going to be magic, pure magic. So if you come for nothing else, come for Marche and Shaq, because it is going to be one of those matches they're going to talk about for a while. I am hoping to have my cell phone out and to do some Facebook Live commentary on a match like this because it is historic to me. Other matches include Nick Diamond will be in action against Draven Lee. Now, I'm very familiar with Nick Diamond. I have never had the opportunity to see Draven Lee work, so I do not know anything about him, but I know the promotional picture. The dude looks pretty incredible. So, Red, what do you know that I don't?
I don't. I'm like you. I'm unfamiliar with Draven Lee, yet it's funny. I don't know how his name came up Saturday, but there were little whispers in the locker room about Draven Lee, Draven Lee, Draven Lee, Draven Lee. And I'm like, well, who the hell is this goddamn guy? Like, and maybe I know him under another pseudonym or a former name, or maybe I just haven't never met him before. But yeah. You think you had a bad weekend last weekend? Nick Diamond didn't have a great one either, and he might not have a good one this weekend.
Yeah. Although that match that he had with Jay Thunder is an instant classic, so you can have that weekend, but still look like $1 million. And as much as Nick Diamond and I don't see eye to eye,
he wasn't looking like $1 million when he went through the tech. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. That's fair. But Nick Diamond is one of the best working right now. Big triple threat match with a stipulation to be chosen by the workhorses for the IPW Second City champion. You've got the Hot Rod Daddy Andy versus Joey Dalton versus your child.
What about it?
What say you? Still mad at your son? Still angry?
No.
Yeah, because everything's all tea and cookies again for the ARC.
It ain't even about tea. First of all, this different universe, sir.
You got to cross the streams.
This is my son. So a good father, as you know, Steve, supports his child.
Yes.
Now, I'm not gonna be out there. He's got to do this on his own, but I am cheering him on and supporting him, and I wish him nothing but the best. But he does have very stiff competition with Daddy and Joey Dalton. This match might be match of the day, because can't say night, but match of the day. Or I would push it to say at the end of the year, this might be one where we can argue might be match of the year. So
it certainly has all the intrigue you need. Other matches that are happening, you've got your RPW Chicagoland champion, the Amazing Turtle, taking on 1/3 of the Trios champions, Wade Evans of the Workhorses. So Turtle and the Workhorses have had bad blood for a while. My relations with the Workhorses. I'll tell you this, despite what happened between me and Turtle from last Saturday to their podcast today, if the Workhorses try to interfere, doesn't matter where I am, doesn't matter what I'm doing, I will intervene. The Workhorses being the people that are running the show, I am going to do everything, and I do mean everything, to mess them up, to fuck with them, to undermine everything they're about on Sunday. I will be up the ass in every possible way. I am going to be the itch you just can't scratch. I'm going to get them. I owe them, and I'm going to get them. It's unfortunate that it's going to wreak havoc on what's going to be a great show, but I am going to be absolutely unhinged because I have got a lot of pent-up anxiety from what went down last Saturday and Saturday and Friday. I've had a bad week. Now I am just out for any kind of justice I can get for myself, and it starts with the Workhorses. So, Turtle, I got your back if shenanigans occur. best believe. And Turtle wins that match easy because Wade Evans can't wrestle. So, anything to add there, Red?
I want to say Turtle, but again, if they decide to throw some stipulation or curveball in there,
Just, they may do something pedestrian like ban me from ringside, but I don't care.
Yeah, but what if you coming out, Turtle forfeits his title?
That would be the only way that I won't be involved in.
I'm just like, let's not yes, we all hate the workhorses. Everybody hates the workhorses. Nobody loves the workhorses, but let's not forget, so who they are. So
yeah, I know who they are. And I know what they're going to be when I'm done with them. Moving on. The Crash Tested Wrestling Chasing Destiny title makes its way to Richton Park. And that's one of the things I also love about IPW is other promotions let their champions come and defend titles. Like Turtle was representing Rocket Pro. Jay Thunder, your new Chasing Destiny champion, will put his title on the line against Rob Stardom. Again, much like Draven Lee, I am not familiar with Rob Stardom. I can't wait to see what happens, but I don't know enough to make a prediction here. I know Jay Thunder's a bad motherfucker.
Same thing. Same thing. I don't know a lot about Rob Stardom, but I don't see Thunder losing. I think
that dude kind of looks like a bruiser, like he can fight. So Jay Thunder still basking in the glow of victory. Sometimes you overlook an opponent and boom.
But I think it's gonna take a lot to take that away from Jay Thunder.
All it takes
a lot.
2, 3.
No, not necessarily.
All it takes. That's all it takes.
It could be a 5 count. It could be a disqualification. Anyway, keep going.
We've got the Rocket Pro Wrestling Inter-County Championship. We have got the champion, the incumbent Rion Skills. We've got one half of the IPW Tag Team Champions and beer drinking champion, Sean Danger. And then there's a big old question mark. The Workhorses are going to pick somebody. Who are they going to pick? Probably one of themselves.
It could be. Or, again, it's a locker room full of people.
I'm going to give you a lead pipe lock. This is the only match on the card where I can tell you who's going to win, and I can tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
Rion Skills retains his title. Want to know why?
Yes, I do.
Because some shit got unlocked in the Real Deal Rion Skills the last time he was in a match at IPW, and I feel sorry for those boys because I was on the business end of a looking eye. So I know what's going to happen. 2 people are going to get their ass kicked by a man that has held gold and is a badass from PCW till now. So Rion Skills walks out of that, and it'd probably be a light work, probably be an easy match for him. But that's what I see.
I don't know. And not about Rion, but don't underestimate Danger. I'm gonna keep saying that till I think for 5 years, that's why Danger got under my skin. I kept underestimating him.
Yeah.
And I would put him down time and time again, yet he would get back up. So don't underestimate Danger.
It's not about underestimating Danger. I don't, because I've seen him do some fairly interesting things, whether he's under the influence or not. I just know what I saw in Rion Skills' face in that champion showcase match. And there are just some things
Well, I get that, but again, I never underestimate. Again, I've done it too many times, and that's a lot of the problems that when you underestimate opponents, that's when they kind of come out of nowhere, and so. But next match.
No, that's it. We're done, and we're gonna wrap this package. We thank.
Oh, you didn't want to take another shot at me?
We talked at length about you and EJ Swanson.
I'm just saying. I know you like to take shots.
Right. Well, let's talk about it. Kid Lat and C-Red, a unconventional tag team to be sure, taking on your IPW League champion Damian Gray and your IPW Junior Heavyweight champion, our guest tonight, EJ Swanson. You and Lat are completely overmatched here. When you look at it, you've got two champions versus a very young human and a very seasoned human. And you've got Damian Gray, who is a champion in the prime of his life, and EJ Swanson, who, although he's young, might be a little older than his years because he has found a way to do what you did so well, manipulate rules and sneak his way through the raindrop, shall we say. You're fighting a younger version of yourself, a man that's going to use every corner of that ring to his advantage to get the job done. Now, Kid Lat, it's no secret, I love that kid. I think he's one of the best things about wrestling these days. And my love for you is well documented. But, Red, I don't know how you get by this one.
I'm preparing right now. I'm prepared.
Are you curling a Pringles can?
Yes. Barbecue. Family size.
Brought to you by C-Red from NWA Pro Wrestling supports Pringles.
Oh, yes.
Listen, this card top to bottom is one of the finest IPW cards that we've had. And
you didn't talk about this match. See, look at you. You slipping.
I'm
you
trying
didn't talk about your match. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. For the IPW Alternative Championship, it is another four-corner scramble. This time, the IPW Alternative Champion, none other than Stevie Two Belts.
Yeah, I still have those two belts. I suspect after this one, I'm going to be Stevie One Belt, but there's hope. There's always hope.
Hey, versus Tad Bro, which we don't know what their mind is after the last show.
That dude hit me with a fucking bat, man.
Well, I'm just saying. So it's not the Nice Bros versus one half of the IPW Tag Team Champion, Diesel Tracks,
one of my
versus Motivational Mike, who can't motivate a tick, versus the repackaged new owner. I don't know. He don't know if he want to wrestle or rap. I'm just saying. J.R. Lindsay.
J.R. Lindsay. So
who do you pick?
Well, here's the thing. If this is the work of the workhorses, it sure makes sense because they have put me in an impossible condition, an impossible situation. I don't even have to be pinned to lose. Although all four of these people could potentially pin me.
No.
I've had it's the four corners, right? Yeah, so I'm sorry, that made no sense. I've never been in a four corners match, so I don't even necessarily know how it works real good.
So let me break it down to you. The bell rings, right? Your title is, let's say that you have to hold on to the title. And you have to touch all four corners consecutively. All four. And it can't be, I hit 3 and 5 minutes later you hit another one. No, it's They have to be consecutive.
Yeah, we had one of these a few months back, and it was very entertaining. And I just can't picture what I'm going to look like in it, but I'm going to do it. I have had a nice reign as IPW alternative champion. So, to be a champion, especially in a promotion like IPW, has been an honor. So if I can retain it, that's lovely. But if I lose it, I had a blast while I had it. It came on vacation with me. I took it to work. I took it out with my friends. The IPW has been at the movies. I saw Oppenheimer last night with my championship belt over my shoulder because I'm proud to be a defending champion in IPW.
Because you had nothing else to do for 3 hours?
Well, my son wanted to see Oppenheimer, so last night was the night we went.
Okay.
He thought I was a little ridiculous, sitting with a belt in the movie theater that 4 people were in, but that's my business, not his. I have taken a great pride in being a champion at IPW. I have tried to represent the company and its great traditions to the best of my abilities. And if it's my night, I will be thrilled. If it's not my night and I lose, no regrets.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, come out and see Steve try to hold on to his title.
And come out and see Steve Red try to save his own life.
Oh, I'm
and let's not forget Marche Rocket and C Red will be in the same building after he screwed Marche Rocket, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart style. It was the great Maryville screw job.
Different universes.
Doesn't matter about the universes. Marche Rocket, don't forget. Marche Rocket's all day. He's got one universe, and that's whip your ass.
Different universes. Ladies and gentlemen, come out this Sunday, July 30th.
Hey, Smokey, you got knocked the fuck out.
I'm not getting knocked out. At the VFW Hall, Post 311, 22-34-1, Governor's Highway in Richland Park. Doors open at 1 and the show will start at 2. General admission, $15. Kids 10 and under $10. See all the IPW superstars. Get our autographs.
Hot dog, have some chicken.
Did they have chicken last time?
I thought they had something last time. I think they were cooking chicken.
I don't know. So
they're doing something anyway.
All right. That it. Let's wrap this puppy. Who's next week's guest?
All right. So
don't get no more.
We want to thank EJ Swanson for being very entertaining, and we're happy to have him here. Yes. Next week on this show, Red, I don't know if you're ready for this one. I don't know if I'm ready for this one. But
I hope I show up.
Boy, I can't wait. Next week on this show, the dad bod demigod, Joey Mayberry, makes an appearance.
Oh, Lord.
The pink mink that he wore Friday night was amazing.
You know what? I can deal with Joey. I can deal with Joey. So
it's going to be an episode for the ages. Thanks to EJ Swanson. Thanks to Rachel. Thanks to Rion. Thanks to C Red. Thanks to everybody for listening. And thanks to JFW for making such interesting banter. We'll catch you guys next Tuesday night. Don't miss IPW this Sunday. Don't miss A Night to Remember with C Red this Friday night. And we will catch you on the flip side, kids. Good night, everybody.